Pranam Swamiji. You have to unmute Swamiji, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I am ready.
Jasprit, can you unmute Swamiji?
Unmuting it, sir, but it is now it is open. It is not happening earlier. Now it's happening.
Okay, Swamiji.
Yeah. Are you able
Swamiji,
to listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Swamiji, we are, almost everyone has come. I know the participant list says 56, but we have a Bangalore office which has 100 people. They are using one television, big television there.
It's okay.
So they will be seen as one here.
So to all Bangaloreans, my pranams and Hariom to everyone there also. Plus across the board, everyone whoever has joined.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. So, friends, we are extremely fortunate today. Swami Chandrupananji is with us to talk to us about managing unprecedented times. This is our well-being series talk. Swamiji, we have been doing that for the last 1 or 2 months because of the current situation. And as I told you, Swami Smarananji came and gave us the first talk was by Swami Smarananji, and then we are very fortunate you quickly agreed when I approached you. For Sightsavers friends who were there in 2015 annual meeting in Greater Noida, you must have met Swami. Swamiji very kindly agreed to come and address us there in Greater Noida, the JP Hotel. But there are, I know after 2015, a number of people have joined since, and some of them have left. But for the newcomers, I'll take 1 second to introduce Swamiji, though it is very difficult to introduce someone of his stature. Swamiji is the Acharya of Chinmaya Mission in Noida, so you all remember Swamiji said that day when he came in 2015 that he's a former corporate staff of a very famous multinational pharmaceutical company. So Swamiji left his corporate life, which we all are struggling now, and joined the monastic life in Chinmaya Mission long back, and has been a prolific speaker, has been talking extensively on various topics. Swamiji extremely renowned within and outside Chinmaya Mission for his very relevant topics that he chooses to speak about. So in that sense, we are extremely lucky that Swamiji very kindly agreed to talk to us today. I don't want to take a lot of time and stand between you all and Swamiji. So Swamiji, over to you, and thank you so much again from all of us in Sightsavers.
Thank you very much, Mohanty ji, and lovely meeting all of you again after 4 or 5 years, 5 years now, I think, yes.
Yes.
And so let me share the screen with you all. So I'll just have a small presentation made for the occasion. So we will see now the topic was given to me, and then we will see. I'll spend about some time, and then I'll throw open the floor for everyone to interact and ask questions. If they are answerable by me, I will definitely answer. I'm sharing the screen now. You are able to see my screen now, everyone?
Yes, Swamiji.
Hari Om. This is our Chinmaya Mission motto. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji had started this mission way back in 1951. So we had celebrated in 2001 50 years of great Jubilee celebrations, Golden Jubilee, and then now it's almost 70 years now. Okay, coming back to today's topic. This is what our Mohanty ji had given me the topic today, managing unprecedented times. I'm sure the picture of this, coronavirus is so popular and it frustrates us, everybody also. Looking at the picture itself, many people say, we don't want to see the picture because it frustrates us. Friends, let's see now. Unprecedented times means this is really unprecedented. Because in 1920 also there was a global pandemic, but it was not really global. It was not a global pandemic at all. It has captured 1 or 2 countries or so. But then, this time, 2020, really shaken everyone. Like, something it falls suddenly on us, a lizard or anything, we just shake our body to get it off. No, like this Prithvi Mata is shaking herself to set right herself properly because of all the damage that humanity has been doing to it, to the earth, Mother Earth, over a period of time because of our own misbehavior, misadventures, no respect towards ecology, and you know all that how we have been living. So this is a great lesson, and this we have never imagined that life will be like this one day. So now this is an unprecedented situation on the planet. Unprecedented means unprecedented. Never ever we have seen such kind of situation in the world. And second thing is, challenges have enveloped us from all sides. We are actually, each one of us, completely submerged in the midst of challenges. Except children who are not aware of what is happening. And little children, those who are just getting their milk and their food and enjoying. Even little grown-up children also frustrated because they can't go to playground. They are arrested in the house. There is no school. They are also, their psyche also is disturbed. They become cranky. And from that age up to the old people, all of us, without exception, means I'm telling you without exception, every organization, be it voluntary organizations or spiritual organizations or corporate societies or corporate world or everything, economy in shambles now, really very, all over the world. And for the past so many days, I think more than a month or so, Western America is totally burning. Forests are burning. And earlier we had Australian huge fires, and continuously these things are happening. And coronavirus has really shaken from the roots. Okay. Now, there is nothing untouched by COVID-19. This is a fact. Not that I am telling you something which you don't know. It's actually we are together, sitting together, and we are contemplating, we are reflecting. Together we are reflecting. Not alone I am talking, you are listening, but together I am with your mind, each one of you. I may not see you all, but my mind is connected to each one of you. So let us form a networking. Mind is connected. Let us think as humanity, as some human beings, sensible human beings on planet Earth. And all of us are together here in a beautiful morning. So we will think about it. Together, let us make this journey through some of the slides which we all know. So no field is remaining untouched by the COVID-19. Okay. Next one. For the past, since 2 months or 3 months also, there is a tsunami of fear, pandemic of fear. Tsunami of fear started all over the globe. And earlier, if there is a patient is there, at least you would have some solace. Okay, I go and get admitted in hospital, I'll be all right. Now even hospital visit also you are scared. Doctor's visit also you are scared. I had last month some ear problem of mine. I had to go to ear doctor, and the environment was in a clinic only. I went to clinic. It's all hygiene, no doubt about it. Nothing happened to me because it's more than 40 days now. I'm on more than nearly 1 month now. The question is, you can't, there are so many doctors, they close their clinics. Dentists have closed their clinics. So you actually speaking, the fear has started, even if you are sick, such a fear now, a small throat pain, coronavirus, a small cough, coronavirus. And I'm staying in some place now, yesterday the next neighbor door, though the patient is not there, but they put the board there, COVID labeled. Immediately fear comes. I mean, this pandemic tsunami of fear is affecting everyone. Financial insecurity, so many things are there. And in spite of all our suffering, one thing is celebrating, nature is celebrating. Our lockdown, our suffering, really literally we are locked down only. Though it is a uplifted lockdown, in a sense actually we are still in lockdown because there is no freedom. There is no, a lot of restrictions, we are functioning in restrictions. Your office also is now recently opened only for 2 days in a week. Now, even today. Otherwise, human interaction is very essential, friends. Remember, humanity, as a great master recently mentioned, humanity cannot be isolated. Humanity, human nature, human psyche is to mingle with people, share experiences, and that's how they can live. If you arrest a human being, unless he's a saint or sage, I'm not talking of those people, but in general, humanity cannot be arrested. They cannot live in an isolation way. So same thing happened to your office also. Mohanty was sharing. So therefore, you are open now 2 days in a week, office is open. Even then you are coming and visiting, meeting people. But there's also fear also is there. How much sanitization can be done? But nature is celebrating. Animals are happy. Prakriti, nature is so beautiful, clear. Pollution is reduced. Sound pollution is reduced. Dust pollution is reduced. Animals are happy. Nature is shining. And so much of atmospheric purification is going on. And you have seen so many Noida, Greater Noida, not Noida near Atta Market, so many wild animals also have come. Suddenly they spotted during lockdown. And everywhere they are celebrating. That means we have to think now, actually, is human beings is necessary? There's so many WhatsApp messages, so many people are asking. Planet says, I can exist without humanity. In fact, humanity has become, permit me my language, humanity has become like a bacteria in the blood on the planet. We have no sense of no sense of control, no sense of discipline, no sense of respecting Prakriti. And our Indian ancient traditions, if you look at it, all those things are actually interwoven so that, the culture is so beautifully brought to close to the nature so that, nature is respected in and through all our traditions. So Indian culture and the what you call economization of natural resources, if you combine these two, which is subject beautifully held in MIT University about 10 years back where I spoke, natural resources and conservation of natural resources and Indian culture. That was the topic. We found that many speakers came so beautifully said, our Indian way of lifestyle, the traditional way of lifestyle is so close, it doesn't disrupt the nature. In Mahabharata, friends, I'm just telling you, when Pandavas are in Dvaitavanam and also in some other two forests are there, Kamyaka forest, Kamyaka Vanam and Dvaitavanam. They used to spend the time in some forest about 4 or 5 years, some other forest 2 or 3 years, some other forest 2 or 3 years. Like that, they used to exchange, move between Kamyaka Vana and Dvaitavanam in most of their 13-year tenure, 12-year tenure, and 13th year, of course, incognito. There once Vyasa Bhagavan appears to them. Appears means he manifests before Pandavas and tells Yudhishthira particularly, because Yudhishthira are not only 5. There are so many thousands of people who have joined them to stay with Yudhishthira in the forest. If you read Mahabharata, you will understand. So there, then natural resources, are being spent because, they live in the forest. So the trees are cut for firewood, flowers are being eaten. Sorry, if the fruits are eaten, so much of so and so natural resources are being spent. Water is being used in the rivers and lakes, etc., in those forests. So Vyasaji appears and instructs Yudhishthira. He says, Yudhishthira, now move to the next forest, because leave this forest. He says, particularly leave this forest to its own way, in its own way, so that it will replenish back to its own original glory. In the meantime, you go and search next forest. You stay there. When those resources are getting reduced, you come back to this forest. Like that, respect nature and live in the forest. This instruction was given by Vyasa Maharshi to Yudhishthira. That means what? In our entire lifestyle is very close. And therefore, today what is happening, because we are moving away that kind of beautiful respect towards nature, etc. Now, a new normal, the world is preparing for us a new normal. Nature is preparing for us. And what is that new normal? Have you ever thought about it? Everybody has to wear a mask in the country. Have you ever thought about even to breathe freely also you get so polluted? In Delhi, as usual, we get a lot of pollution every year. Except this year because of coronavirus. So what is that new normal it could be for us all? I don't know. I'm really, sometimes I also think about it. Will those days return where we can freely move and breathe in the air without any fear? Can we sit next to together in the bus and train and airports freely and enjoy a coffee or a tea, etc., or eat food? Can that moment come back again? The whole nation has to be vaccinated. Think about this scenario. So friends, it is said in the our scriptures, mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoh. What is the cause for bondage and liberation? It is mind alone. Today's situation, who is responsible? Total mind is responsible. Your mind, my mind, everybody's mind is responsible. None of us can say, I am not responsible for this. No, I am consuming. My existence itself is consuming so many resources on the planet. So therefore, here today we will see what are the effects of pandemic. You know all of them, but we list them together. Some of them I am putting. There are so many effects are there. Number one is physical disorders. Anxiety, stress and strain and fear, and these trigger various diseases. Psychosomatic diseases are triggered. You know, my brother is in Hyderabad. He's also Swami. He was telling me, some of you maybe you know Hyderabad, I think. He stays near that Sanat Nagar area where the mental hospital is in that locality only, near ES hospital and all. He was telling me, Bhaiya, when lockdown started, in the first 2.5-3 months, people are so much frustrated. The mental patients in the mental hospital have increased. What are the complaints? Stress, loneliness, some kind of frustration, unable to bear this kind of arrest. Second thing is fear. Of course, fear of all round fear. Varieties of fear. And fear triggers anxiety, sleeplessness. And nobody is an exception. We, for example, which Chinmaya mission you take, every spiritual organization you take, we don't know when we will hold again a gathering of people as we used to do. Every month or twice or thrice, big lectures used to take place and people would come and meet and greet and celebrate the moment, the joy. That is not happening. Ashram is almost closed. So fear comes. Then second thing, third, depression. It's not exaggeration. Almost everybody is in depressive condition. Talk to anyone, there's a tone is very depressive tone. Something you look at through the window, the whole nature appears to be so something very unusual to us. Inability to adjust. Of course, all of you are experiencing it. First 1 week, 10 days, 1 month, it was very good working from home. Later on, working from home became great sin, great problem. Why? Because, you know, I can't meet anybody, the joy of meeting people, patting each other, everything is gone. And blocked mind. And, you know, nobody knows, everything seems to be uncertain. Blocked mind. And frustration, of course. Then comes insecurity. Whether my children will be happy or not, whether I'll retain my job or not, my family will be together or not, will we be able to sustain or not in future? Loss of earnings, of course. Lucky are those who are getting paid. Lucky are those who have got opportunity to work from home and still get their package. But there are so many industries, so many people, crores of people in our country and across the globe, of course. So many people are suffering because they are no, like food industry you take. travel industry you take. How many people I've seen so many people appealing, crying because they can't feed their families. Barbers are suffering, drivers are suffering. I was talking to one chief chef of a 5-star hotel. So I was talking, he said, Swamiji, my salary is 150. I said, still you can live happily. Yes, sir, I have no complaints. But I feel so sad to remove 150 out of my 150 team in a 5-star hotel. I had to cut short 70 people. I was really in tears. Where will they survive? Then I told him, the barbers also don't have money here because nobody goes to shop nowadays. And next day his barber called him. He was crying, it seems. I don't have money to eat. Please, can you send somebody? So that chief chef called me next day. Swamiji, we were discussing 2 days back, and yesterday I got a call from my barber. He was in tears. Somebody has got some shared number. Some other fellow was telling me. So there's so many. And I tell you, this is appeal. Appeal is that you got your job. You are getting some payment. It's the greatest blessing of the Lord on you. So don't be selfish here. Help people. I'll come to the point later on. Uncertain future, of course. And impatience. And suicidal tendencies. Of somehow committed suicide also. So these are the problems due to pandemic. Now, what are the core principles that we have to practice? Now, you can say that you are a Swami, you are not married, and so therefore no wife and no children, no responsibilities and all. So you can speak all these things. No, sir, please understand. To more people I am connected, looking at their inconveniences and sorrow, I am also equally affected. My mind also is really in helpless state. I am also in sorrowful condition. So many people. I will not give you examples. How many phone calls must have come to me? घर में ये प्रॉब्लम है, घर में वो प्रॉब्लम है, पैसा नहीं है. So, first of all, these are the eternal principles. What is it we should do? First one, friends, remember, in masters say, all great gurus say, reclaim your mind. Do not lose your mind. How can we do this? First of all, whatever the situation, what Bhagavan Krishna made Arjuna is first accept the challenge, Why are you running away from the challenges? If you win, you will enjoy the earth. If you die, you will go to heaven and enjoy there. But first accept the challenge. So situation is like this. First, yes, we have to accept it. See, a great master said, these high principles I'm talking, they talk very high dimension. They say, suppose a pain is there. Instead of fighting with your mind, fighting the pain with your mind, the master said, move the mind towards pain. Observe it. It's not easy. Jiddu Krishnamurti says, you can observe in all my practice observations, only when you are losing self-consciousness because of terrible pain, then observation is not possible. So now we are actually mentally disturbed, no doubt about it. So accept the situation, global situation, first accept it. Second one, drop non-essentials. Of course, I'm sure not only with respect to material things I'm talking, drop non-essentials from the mind itself. Like, unwanted worries, unwanted projections, unwanted imaginations. Why should I imagine sitting quietly in the chair? Already the things are horrible. Why should I further imagine horrible things? Control the mind. Drop all non-essentials. With respect to utilitarian things, where some things have to be utilized, you can live in normal, of course, minimal. You have been living with minimal things only. So third thing is practice awareness. And remember, friends, there is a beginning, there must be also an end. So even this will pass away. Our Gurudev Swami Chinmayan used to say a beautiful story. Even this will pass away. One father gave a ring, you know. So his father died and the son lost business and all. Everything he lost sitting under a tree. He suddenly saw his ring finger and remembered his father gave him the ring. He just took out that ring. He thought of selling it and for survival. But then in the inner lining of the ring, he noticed something is written there. Then in that written, he was reading it. It is written there, even this will pass away. Even this will pass away. He was so inspired by listening to that message of the father. He thought then, my thanked father, Father, I think you gave a message today in the inner ring. You dropped a message. So this situation will pass away. He regained his mind, mental balance. He again, when the mind became calm, the ideas have flashed. Then he worked hard again, and then he regained his lost glory. So we must all, to the extent possible, practice awareness. Best time. You have got, at least you have saved travel time to office and come back. You have saved your time to go to hotels and picnics and meetings and parties and social gatherings. All of them have stopped. Unnecessary travel also has stopped. So a lot of time is there for you. I had kept all my targets, a lot of targets I kept to study some books and all that. I was doing it. Since 1 month, my health a little disturbance, so therefore I could not focus on my studies. Otherwise, I have been doing it. Now I am again regaining my strength. So best time is utilize in studies. And next one, practice meditation. Either breath control or observing of the breath or pranayam or taking japa of the Lord and our Lord's name, whatever religion you belong to, doesn't matter. Tune to one divine consciousness, all pervading. At least 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Place yourself in his lap of the Lord or lap of the Divine Mother. 5 minutes, invoke your Guru. They're all there, masters are all there. So, this is what I want to tell you, 5 points. Now let us come to the other important points. Mind focus during pandemic. Friends, remember, 4 or 5 points I'm giving you. Please know that spirituality is the only subject in the world which tells you how to handle yourself first before you handle anything in the outer world. Tell me, what is that subject which tells how to handle your mind first, yourself first. Yourself means your anger, your frustration, your desires, your lust, your greed, your over ambition, ambitious things, your physical health, mental depression, dejection, and so many disparities in the mind which trigger many problems. Anger, restlessness, reactions. How do I handle my stress and strain? What is the subject which tells you, my dear? Spirituality. Yes, that is the spirituality deals with that. And how can I become a manager? Managing affairs, managing the office affairs, managing the people, managing the mission, managing money, managing teams, etc. How can I manage anything else in the world if I don't know how to manage my mind first? This is one of our small booklet is there in Chinmaya Mission, Managing the Manager. Who is manager in us? Mind. Mind manages everything. And we have to manage the mind. So friends, the more you hook on to spiritual thinking, that you can cross death fear also by God's grace. Fear of death will go away. Life will have some meaning. In spite of all the troubles, you can really balance yourself and help others around you. So spirituality is the first subject, first hook for humanity. Very beautiful thing. So please, instead of sitting and worrying and imagining all horrible things, spend some time every day, 1 hour, read good books on spirituality. Second thing is, create new habits in subconscious mind. When you create new habits, they trickle down into subconscious mind. This is the time. Probably, you may be coming late before pandemic, coming house at 10, 10:30, eating late food and then sleeping 11:30, 12 and getting tired in the morning, and then so that, you can't get up around time early. So somehow you get up and then pack your things and grab some food and then rush to office through traffic and pollution. All these things are not there. Now you can sleep on time, get up early morning, and create a good habit of pranayam, meditation, or puja, or some kind of whatever it is, recitations. You can create that habit, no? Instead of opening my eyes on the bed and worrying, "Ye kab tak khatam hoga pata nahi, kab khatam hoga pata nahi." You can practice meditation. So this is very essential, especially in these times. So create new habits if you can. Why if you can't? Why do you think if you can? You can. Build relationships. Understand your spouse. Compassion. And nobody is perfect in this universe. Perfect is masters are perfect. But in the world, all of us are imperfect only. So instead of searching perfection in others, show compassion, love, forgiveness. This is a beautiful opportunity to build relationship with your family members, with your friends, with your relatives. Talk to them, inquire about their welfare, offer some help if you can, boost their morale. This is a great service to the world now. Now talking to anybody, seeing anyone in any part of the world is so easy, which about 20, 30 years back we never thought about it. When before WhatsApp also, it was not so easy to make video calls so frequently, so cheap. So build relationships. Now simply, very beautiful statement. May I live simply that others may simply live. Not with complications. So if I live simply, all around me will be able to simply live, so happy. If I am a complicated guy, I complicate everybody's life around me. Therefore, Master says very clearly that learn to live simply so that others can simply live. Don't complicate things at home, in the office, etc. So golden rules during stress. I'll go through this fast, though I have time. Seek help without hesitation. This is not the time to keep quiet without seeking help. If any problem, physical problem, mental problem, feeling depressed, loneliness, or any financial problem, share. Then you may get some tips, some help. Second thing is samashti jivanam, meaning try to live as a group. So within family, suppose your brothers, maybe they are staying in different places, but we are all one team, one joint family. Within the family, help each other. One brother is earning, one brother has no job. I know one driver here, one of our mission members' driver. He is just paying him money for no work. Why? Otherwise he cannot survive, because he has 3 brothers, and 3 brothers lost their jobs. So 3 brothers and 3 brothers' wives, 3 wives. So 6 of them, his parents and their children, this fellow's wife. All together 10, 11 people at home. And all 10, 11 people, all the 3 brothers lost the jobs. Luckily they have small one shelter of 1 room or 2 rooms, own house kabhi banaya hoga. So they are able to live in the same place, in Delhi only. Now, the gentleman, our mission member, he said, Swamiji, if I don't pay him, the whole family will die. So what is the minimum amount required to run the show in the family? He asked the driver. The driver said, this is the minimum amount I need to survive. So that minimum amount at least is being supplied, so that children can live, family members can live, purchase some essential foods. And so that's what is happening. One brother is able to take care of everybody in the family. So that kind of a living is required now. Third thing is, I told you already, stick to only essentials, drop non-essentials. And I told patients, I already told you, please know time will solve many problems. So we have a tremendous patience is required. Don't be hurry. September में खत्म हो जाएगा, November में खत्म हो जाएगा, December में vaccine आ जाएगा, 2-3 में सबको लग जाएगा. And there are so many complications with one vaccine. Now I read it in some other countries. Coronavirus is better than the vaccine created problems. Because if somebody said, if coronavirus is there, you will be cured. Even if you are not cured and die, it is good. Rather than suffering from nervous problem, nervous system breakdown, and whole life you are not able to die also, you are not able to live also. Somebody was telling me all this. Some the vaccine has reacted like that in some country. So next one is, do something new to move towards other dimensions of mind. Discover something new and make the mind move in that dimension. Spend more time with family, especially children. You can learn, children, if you spend time, they laugh, they joke, they talk innocently, your mind becomes halka. That's good. And you can help children also. If they have any small thing, problems are there, you can help them. Inquire servants, etc., and help them to the extent possible. As I told you the driver example, similarly servants will come. Help them. You are far better than many crores of people outside. I'm not asking you to help all over the people, all the world. We cannot, nobody can help. So at least in the vicinity of your observation, if you are living in sensitivity and helping others, God will appreciate you. Here is a guy who is taking care of people around him or her. Please do it, sir. And next one, take care of birds, of course. Other street animals. Birds, of course, no problem much, especially except in summer. They want water and all. Animals are suffering. You know how many animal NGOs appealed for us, to us, all us. I also got many appeals. Dogs, there are so many people, stories I listen. Cows, they don't have feed, they don't have money. Help them, whatever way you can, whatever you can. And you know how many millions of animals died in Australian fires. How many are dying now in America, Western America? Please read the news now. Our channels are not much covering. But my brother says in America, so he says that so many, bhaiya, bahut kuch ho raha hai idhar. They are advised not to open the doors, windows. Roads are becoming black. So many horrible things are happening. So, and watch interviews of great personalities in YouTube. Lucky you can choose any interview, any talk, refresh yourself. So these are the things I wanted to share during this today. And thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Ultimately, friends, divine is all powerful. Destiny is powerful. Karma doesn't spare anybody, whether it is humanity as a unit or individual. So, prarabdham bhogena nashyati. It is said the destiny cannot be stopped. It has to be lived. The karma of the destiny is destroyed only by going through the problems or of course enjoyments or joys or sorrows. Only then only the karma is destroyed. So I pray to God to give each one of you and your family members tremendous peace, strength and courage to live these times. And may each one of you without exception, be able to receive the divine light in your hearts. And in each heart, that let the divine light glow in your heart so powerfully that it works as a great torch for the people around you. And thus you will be able to serve society and the world around you. Be a torch. The divine light is ready to reflect in your hearts if you just say, oh God, use me. I am available. Make me thy instrument. That light guides not only you, all the people around you will be blessed. You yourself don't know how you are able to guide people, how your presence itself is inspiring and motivating others. Even though you may not say anything, others are inspired by your presence. There is the power of love. There is the power of guidance of divine. So thank you, friends, and thank you, Mohanty ji, especially to you for giving this opportunity. And I'm stopping share here. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Thank you.
We will now, for the next couple of minutes, talk about some questions. Anyone having any questions, please unmute yourself, switch on your video if possible, and ask a question to Swamiji.
Staff members can unmute themselves if they want to now.
Swamiji, this is Archana. Thank you very much for a very nice tips and very insightful talk. I just want to know, you said spirituality is the ultimate thing that really helps you control yourself and mind. But if you look around, spirituality is something like, it seems to be the last agenda on people's list of things to be achieved. So how can this be, how can you let people know that this is how you have to pay more attention to spirituality rather than any other things?
Okay, if you have patience to make others understand, I'll give you simple things. On the board, you write down what are all the problems of a human being?
Mm-hmm.
Just write down. Anger, frustration, greed, the hope. Somebody says, no, not only that it kills, but kills hopes also. Somebody was just reading the chat message. Then, so many things are there. Just ask them. You are interested in solution, or you wanted to float yourself in the midst of all the problems?
Okay.
Solutions required. Now, okay, what are the areas where solutions are available? Which subject deals and addresses the exactly, it's called, a kumbhasthala of elephant. Elephant हाथी को मारना है तो कुंभस्थल पे मारना है. So that means that center place where if you hit, the elephant will die. Elephant will be hit. If you want to hit the elephant, hit at the kumbhasthala, on the forehead top. Similarly, central pivot is there. You want to hit the real problem area. When you want to hit the real problem area, then you will understand what exactly is that, how you can face. In fact, there are 3-4 things. Medicines are there, diet is there, exercise is there, and counseling is there. Any fifth medicine you can tell me, my dear? Any problem you take. Medicines, diet, exercise, and counseling. And what is it in counseling they give you? Knowledge. So what is the source of that knowledge? Which subject deals that kind of knowledge in the world? Spirituality. So look at the spirituality.
Yeah.
What is that spirituality deals with it? So spirituality is, unfortunately, ignored totally. And I tell you, just because the majority's intelligence is not always correct, no?
Yes, true.
So-called majority think that we are intelligent because the majority. It's not like that. Therefore, the first and foremost we have to understand is, really speaking, the problems are actually, there are so many problems are there, but all the problems are reflected and affecting the mind, and that subject which handles your mind is nothing but spirituality. It will actually pose right questions. When right questions are asked, then the solutions for problems are slowly discovered. And the strength is required. Strength also comes from spiritual thinking. That's why EQ is failed, IQ is failed, EQ is failed, because IQ and EQ also are not fulfilling all the requirements. SQ is talked about now, spiritual quotient. With IQ may be high, 80, 90, but they are not guaranteed the morality and code of the conduct and character in the society. IQ because of IQ. And EQ is talking about emotional quotient and balance, but it has no power to transform the negative emotions into positive ones.
Right.
Then what is the quotient which is required to really transform your negative emotions into positive emotions? Spiritual quotient.
Yes.
So it's approved actually in the world. So therefore, spirituality is the only subject which deals and tells you how to handle yourself first. There is no other subject. You have studied so many degree, up to degree, post-graduation you may have studied. Tell me what is that subject which told you, which trained us in school or college, how to control the anger, how to control greed, how to be more compassionate, how to love more people, how to understand empathy and sympathy. All these things, have you ever taught actually anything properly? How can you expect society to change when you are not actually training what is required to be trained? How can you want suddenly compassion, society, love society to love everybody? We never taught about these things. We never teach.
But why is it our education system is not focusing on
now
this?
it will go into political things, and then it is time, and I forget about all those things now. There is no question of why. Don't ask. You are a wonderful human being on earth. Exactly. You teach your children. Or in Chinmaya Mission we do, or in East Spiritual, where we have conducted Yoga Satsang you take, Sat Sai Baba organization you take, Mata. I'm not taking any names. All organizations, spiritual organizations, they teach children, they teach youngsters, they teach elders, they teach everybody. Where somewhere you join, somewhere you hook it on to, and then learn and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be a small teacher to teach 10, 20 children the beautiful morals and story and how to love, how to share. These are the things, which are required. You do your bit before you die.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are you from, Archana?
I'm from Bhopal, Madhya
Bhopal.
Pradesh. Yeah.
You're speaking from Bhopal now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. We have Chinmay Mission there in Saket Nagar.
Okay.
I come there normally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Swamiji, we have a few questions on the chart.
Okay, I'll just see. I will see.
I will read it out for you, Swamiji, if you.
I'm reading it. How do we handle stigmatization of the family even when it is simple flu? It depresses one so much that once people who were so close stigmatize you just because you have flu. And I tell you one thing, friends, remember, please don't think me I am something giving you answers which are not practical. Please understand, because if somebody is stigmatizing you, you know what Buddha says? Show compassion. Buddha, when you read this great literature of saints, I tell you one thing. Buddha, suppose somebody got angry with you, like stigmatization. Somebody gets angry, somebody abuses you. Buddha said, somebody is abusing you, should I not abuse? Somebody asked. He said, no, show compassion. I said, what nonsense you are talking, Lord Buddha? How can I show compassion towards somebody who is abusing me? Buddha said, see, beautiful thing I tell you. You should show compassion because why he is abusing? Because his mind is not in balance. He lost his temper, he lost his cool, he lost his balance of mind. He is suffering mentally. There is a pain in him. That pain of not so good in condition of the mind. Not that pain is what? I am not in a good mood. I am not in my shoes. That condition of that, Buddha Bhagavan says, that condition of that individual, because of that he has become cranky, because of that he is abusing you. So because of he has all that condition in his mind, Buddha says, somebody abuses you, show compassion, embrace him with your energy, not physically, embrace him with the energy of your love and compassion to dissolve that condition of other man's mind. Can you accept this answer when I give this for your question? Who is that? From Spaul.
Swamiji, this is Shampa from Kolkata.
Huh?
This is Shampa from Kolkata. I asked
Shamta,
that question.
yeah. It's something, it is SPAUL to everyone.
Yeah, Shampa Paul. Yeah.
Shamta Paul, okay. Full name. Okay. This is what is the answer. I tell you, don't, one more friends, please understand. I'm telling with all my love and observing the world, I'm telling. Don't be the beggars of others' love. Don't be the beggar, give love. When I beg everybody's love and when I don't get it, I get depressed. I must rise above so high, all of you should rise above so spiritually that even though somebody is not respecting you and talking ill about you, you should be so high that either you should not have time to think about this nonsense, or you must have such a large-heartedness to forgive and forget, ignore, or you must have that great heart of Buddha to show compassion and then dissolve the others' the mind, or you are able to declutch yourself, your mind from that kind of dirty mind and just bless the individual. May you be all right soon. Otherwise, if you want to change others, don't stigmatize me. So what do? I don't want you to stigmatize me. Okay, very good. But they will not do. They will continue. What can I do? So friends, for example, we Swamis, you take in we travel in flight and then train and road. Everybody looks at me with respect? No. Swami Chinmayananji says, a monk, sometimes Swami Chinmayananji mentioned that abhorrent looks of people, members of society towards a Swami. Abhorrent looks. They cast their kind of a uneasiness and they move away from you sometimes and they're uncomfortable. What can I do? I must still agree. I must love myself. I must love everyone. I must mind my business. If I want everyone to respect me, it's not possible. Christ was crucified. Jesus was crucified. The one who gave them love. Krishna was blamed. Every great saint and sage has suffered. So don't expect others to, if they cannot get, if they stigmatize you, you just ignore, mind your own health, get well soon, and pray for humanity. The best way to.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, beta. How do you beat the fear and anxiety, especially when it's not known? Yeah. And now I'll tell you one thing. This is the problem which most of us are facing now. This is the problem. Like when you sleep, some kind of anxiety comes. Some anxiety comes and wakes you up from sleep. That anxiety is triggered either by fear inside or insecurity, whatever it is. Some anxiety, some disturbances in the heart. I'm telling you, I had gone through all these different kinds of moods. So God made me experience certain things in my life so that, I will really know and answer with compassion rather than a theoretical Vedantic reply alone. Vedanta is not theory I'm talking. Vedanta is not theory, Vedanta is practical. So I will not talk dryness. So here, see, this happens. When this happens, I tell you. I'm telling you physically. First of all, if it is too much anxiety and fear and that situation, what you said, when it's unknown, fear and anxiety, and if it's really creating some disturbances in you, causing sleeplessness, etc., I suggest, don't mistaken me, take some good medicine in homeo or in Ayurveda for getting good sleep. I don't suggest allopathy drugs. They are sleeping pills. In homeopathy, anger also is a disease. Fear also is a disease. So there are beautiful medicines are there. First of all, physically get well soon. Then second thing is, you address the mind. Investigate it. If you can investigate without taking if the situation is serious, then take medicines, help yourself. I told you, seek help from others for medical aid also, never mind. Otherwise, if you are able to handle that fear and stress and anxiety, it is not too much overpowering you, then immediately inquire, investigate. Investigate where is this coming from and why it is. Look into your mind, so deeply look into your mind. Sit in a chair, think about it. Where the hell this is coming from? Why am I afraid of? And then you will investigate, you will find that our mind is playing games. Our mind is creating some kind of fears in subconscious mind. When you look into the depths of your mind, then just observe it. And the masters have said, when you reach the source of it and observe it, in the fire of your observation, that the problem will be dissolved. Because no problem can exist if you look at the problem from highest pedestal of observation. So second thing, investigate it. What is it which is causing me fear? Address the fear. Tell the mind. So I teach you 3 mantras here, 3 things. Remember this. Maybe I told in 2015, I don't know, when I met all of you. First one is tame the mind. T-A-M-E. Tame the mind. Once the mind is tamed by your own dialogue, talking to the mind. Tame the mind. Then when the tamed mind, like puppy, you purchase a new puppy. You train the dog. First tame the dog. Not, you cannot train it directly, teaching anything. First the dog gets used to your house and slowly you tame the dog, puppy. The puppy, befriend the puppy. Dog. Then comes the teach the dog or teach the mind. teach the principles. Now what is happening? We are teaching ourselves. I am talking to you, but whereas I am teaching myself. When I talk to you, I am getting energy. Not that I am talking to you. I am refreshing, reinforcing my own ideas loudly here. So I am energizing myself. So teach the mind. First tame the mind, teach the mind. Teaching is like sort of theory. Feeding the mind with principles. And the third one is train the mind. Now face the fear. What is the fear? Let us face it. What kind of fear it is? Future. Why do you worry about future now? Lord has taken care, and with the minimum if we can live, no complaints. See with 130 crore population, we all should folded hands. We should thank the all-pervading Lord and Mother Earth for feeding us. There is no dearth of food. There are no starvation deaths in the country. Is it not a blessing, friends? Imagine 130 crore population. Medicines, no dearth. I just really think and thank God. No dearth of medicines, no dearth of food. Suppose BP goal is not there, the diabetic people are not getting medicines, and so many things are not there. They stop suppose supply in the pandemic and really. And haath jod ke kehna hai, all those people who are working for companies like pharma industry, food industry, farmers, cultivating, haath jodna hai. Therefore, there is no fear. Address the fear. Investigate it. Face it. It will dissolve. No, I am unable to face anxiety. I need a pill. Don't go for allopathy. It's not so good. So there are beautiful medicines in Ayurveda which will give you good health. Also in homeopathy. Take those things. But become fit. Don't fall sick. That's what my message is. Okay. Have you got this satisfied? This question you asked this question?
Thank you so much, Swamiji. I got the answer.
You got the answer. What is your name? Adi.
My name is Abhijit De.
All shortcut names only यहाँ पे बहुत confusion. Galaxy S10 कौन है भैया?
Swamiji, it's me, Rajiv.
Rajiv, okay.
Rajiv, yeah. My laptop, there is no power, so I've connected through mobile.
Mobile, okay, doesn't matter. Where majority of them are mid-20s and growing young, can I request to suggest one thing that young leaders need to practice or follow to overcome the challenges to achieve career success? Friends, remember, one thing you're really interested to follow, Vivekananda Swami says in his entire books, lot of books, when he wrote in 8 volumes, many places he says, the one word in Veda which inspired me, the one word in Veda which is liked by me, which I am inspired by it, is Abhihi. Abhi means bhaya. Abhihi, be fearless, be fearless, be fearless. If you are fearless, there's a room is created. The fear fills everything. If you are fearless, a space is created. In the space, you get fresh ideas, confidence, courage, conviction, patience. All the required things you will get it. But if your fear occupies our heart, first we have to drive the fear, then create the space, then plant all these good things. So first of all, don't worry. All your lives will be so fantastic, beautiful. Every moment of your life, I pray to God, you enjoy in your own dignity of life and with your own contribution to society and the country. This is my best wishes for you all. Don't be worried. Do your hard work. Work hard. Don't try to hide your strength and weaknesses and talents and all. Other man is not working. Why should I work? And these kind of things, forget about it. I am born to work. It's my greatness to bring my efficiency in the field of work. When others around me are not doing their best, let them go. Bhaad mein jaane do logon ko. But my performance is depending upon my interest and commitment to work. So do that work. So I am talking to you. I am talking to you with my own inspiration. Whether you appreciate or depreciate, whether you like it or don't. I don't have time for all of I know. First of all, I don't know your faces also. When afterwards the talk is over, I shut down my computer, I will become my own busy, and then I thank Mohanty. That's over. So therefore, do your best. Shed fear. And trust in God. All will be well placed. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you so much. Incredibly inspiring, all your points. I'm sure everyone benefited. We have now reached the time. Swamiji gave us time up to 12:30. So, Swamiji, pranam again, and we all here are very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohanty. Can I log out now?
Yes, Swamiji.
So nice. You are looking same. There's no change between 2015 and 2020.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Take care. Bye. Hari Om.